People who've grown up, they do that, right? So I ended up spending about 3.5 lakh rupees on my credit card. For those of you who know how credit card works, for 52 days, you don't have to pay anything. After 52 days, you pay what you used and a lot of interest. You pay extra, correct? I couldn't pay. 3 months, I couldn't pay. Now imagine where I am. I am in Poyas Garden. What car do I drive? I drive a BMW. How expensive is the house in Poyas Garden? 100 crores. How expensive is the car that I ride? 40-50 lakhs. My credit card due is only 37,500. It's called a minimum due. Adu kattna podum. Then they'll keep charging you interest. That's how banks make money. You'll learn that later. Okay? So this guy lands up in my doorstep. They'll come and they'll be like, you owe so much money. Why haven't you paid? They'll harass you. All of that will happen. No. So this guy came home. And maybe 24, 25. I got out because I was afraid how he will embarrass you. You've been embarrassed in your life before? Yes? You've been embarrassed for different reasons. You really have been embarrassed. You've been very shy. So I was very, very angry with myself. So this fellow stands outside my house and he's demanding that I pay money. Chariya, I'll tell you the actual conversation I had with him. He kept sitting on his bike and looking inside my house. How do you feel when someone peeps into your house? Scared, annoyed, embarrassed also, right? So I quickly opened my door and went out. I was like, I didn't want my dad, mom worrying about me, right? So I quickly went out. And I recognized that he's from the bank. He's wearing a tag that says the bank's name. I'm like, sir, over 3-4 days I'll pay you your dues. I told him like that. He said, sir, ஏற்கனவே நீங்க ஒரு மாசம் பே பண்ணல சார், உடனே பே பண்ணுங்க. Right? I was like, sir, என்கிட்ட இப்ப காசு இல்ல, I'll pay you later. I'll pay you sometime later. But he was not listening. And you know what he said? He said very, very colloquially in Tamil, like he was referring to his manager, he was actually shouting at me. How do you feel when someone gives you a derogatory remark like that? Embarrassed. You'll feel very disrespected. You'll feel like, why are they doing this to you? He continued. He said, sir, enna கோவப்படுத்தாதீங்க. Go into your house, open any cupboard, take 50,000 rupees and bring my 37,500 to me. Why did he think like that? Why did he think like that? Because he saw that I'm living in Poyas Garden. I have a BMW car. So he saw all of that and he thought I should give him the money. But you know what? It took me 2 years to pay off that credit card. How many times though I would have harassed you? Imagine what you would have gone through. Sometimes from outside, people think failure means very, very small failure or very, very big failure. How do you feel if you can't go out of your house? If you can't go, you can't show your face to someone. Sometimes when you think you can't show your face outside to someone, how do you feel? That was one of the first failures I had. I was in love with someone. 4 years we waited. We convinced our parents. We got married. 2.5 years later, me and my ex-wife applied for divorce. Okay. Right when COVID came, we had to go through a divorce. Both of us separated. You call that also a failure? Yes? Yes, no. Failure only, no. My choices went wrong, right? I thought that this would be nice for me, but it didn't work. 4 years I was in love. I thought she was my soulmate. She thought I was her soulmate. We got married. 2.5 years later, it didn't work. Again, failure. Yes? Imagine this. You're 30 years old. You're sitting inside a house in Poyas Garden. And you feel very miserable about yourself. You're asking yourself, how the hell do I become like my dad? 30 years. I missed out on all my opportunities to actually start a business or to work under someone. Nothing I did, right? I'm already 30. What should you actually be doing when you're 30? Working successfully somewhere? Earning money, giving it to the family? I was doing nothing. You know what? We all get fancy dreams in the night. One such time, no. In an AC house, when AC is running very high, when it's actually cold, when there is like superb dream running, I woke up like I woke up from a nightmare. You see how I'm sweating now? I'm standing here, sweating even more bad. I woke up that day and I sat up when I was 30 years old and I asked myself, what the hell am I doing with my life? What the hell am I doing with my life? That was the expression. And you know what? For the first time in my life, I realized that I was not working towards my potential. You know Abdul Kalam? Yes? How many of you know Abdul Kalam? There's a very famous saying Abdul Kalam said, I want you to listen to me. I want you to understand this. I want you to put it into your heart. He said, கனவு என்பது உன் தூக்கத்தில் வருவதில்லை உன்னை தூங்க விடாமல் செய்வதுதான். How many of you understand that? Dreams are not something that come while you're asleep. Dreams are something that don't let you sleep. Can you repeat that? Dreams are not something that come while you're asleep. Dreams are those that don't let you sleep. You go and ask your dad, you go and ask your mom, you go and ask your grandfather, you go and ask your grandmother. If they've had successful innings in their life, they would have stayed awake a lot of times asking themselves, how can I do this? How can I achieve success? How can I do this? How can I do this? How can I do this? You think that's possible? You think that's possible? 30 years, for the first time, I realized that I had wasted potential inside me, and I started to work on realizing my potential. Right? From someone who had a lot of loan, from someone who had gone through a bad marriage, from someone who had not understood what he was going to do in his own life, from someone who thought that he was very talented but was not accepted in the society, from someone who did not know how to make money. Today I'm standing in front of you, actually sitting in front of you. I run a business, one business worth 4 crore rupees. 4 crores. That crowd there, you're the ones who I want to talk to. You're in the brinks of 9th standard, right? You're the ones who are really in a very turning point in your life.